So what we did was we boiled down the entire 2-hour debate to 3 minutes. And this morning on Fox and Friends, the post-game show, we've had each of the people who were on the stage last night. Lawrence Jones is down in Tuscaloosa where the event was. And Lawrence, introduce our latest contestant.
Oh, yeah, we have Governor Ron DeSantis from the free state of Florida. Governor, I want to pick up where that montage left off, and it was the back and forth between you and Governor Christie about what would you do? Will you send military troops into Israel to fight the war? And you didn't answer that question.
That's not true. I said you do what you need to do. You've got to defend your people. But then I also talked about the larger conflict. So I did answer it. That's just Chris Tinton. But here's another, what you guys didn't.
So the question is, will you send military troops or not?
You do what you need to do based on the circumstances to be able to get them home. But you as commander-in-chief, there's going to be plans, there's going to be options, and you have to vet that. So there's no way
of knowing that option is on the table.
Of course it would be. You have to get your people. But what you didn't show in the montage there was, Chris and Nikki both support this gender transition surgeries for the minors. That's mutilation. We passed legislation in Florida saying you cannot do that. They say, oh, it's parents' rights. You don't have a right to abuse your kid as a parent. And that was very telling when we did that exchange. So as a party, if we can't stand for the well-being of children, then what good are we? We know the Democrats won't. I did the debate against Gavin Newsom. California has laws. Kids can go behind their parents' backs from other states, minors, and get this transition surgery.
You cited that exchange. I want to play this so our audience can see that. Let's play it.
You have other candidates up here like Nikki Haley. She caves anytime the left comes after her, anytime the media comes after her. I did a bill in Florida to stop the gender mutilation of minors. It's child abuse and it's wrong. She opposes that bill.
He continues to lie about my record. I actually said his Don't Say Gay bill didn't go far enough because it only talked about gender until the 3rd grade. And I said it shouldn't be done at all, that's for parents to talk about. It shouldn't be talked about with schools.
I get to make the decisions about my children, not anybody else. And every parent out there who's watching tonight, you start to turn over just a little bit of this authority, the authority they're going to take from you next, you're not going to like. I'll stand up for parents each and every time.
So that you do not have the right to abuse your kids.
So, Governor, to your point, this is an important issue for parents. What is the red line as it relates to the state and kids? What is the rights of parents and what is the rights of the state and a DeSantis administration?
You don't have a right to abuse your kids. That's been the law for forever. You can't take a 12-year-old and get him a tattoo. It's just, you got to be a certain age. But yet somehow you can chop off their private parts. Give me a break. And what Nikki said in there, it shows you, first of all, she was talking about a different bill, our Parents' Rights Education, which had nothing to do with this. So she was dissembling because she knows she's not good. She called it the Don't Say Gay bill. That's what the liberals tried to call it. That is a false narrative. That's what the corporate media does. And it shows she buys into these left-wing narratives. The fact that she used that term for that bill, which had nothing to do with the mutilation. But they believe that somehow this is a parent right, even though it's irreversible and it's very damaging. And many other countries have said we can't do it.
There's been, on some policy thing, there's been an escalation between you and Nikki Haley. Is it because she's surging in the race that now you have turned your attention toward her versus Donald Trump?
Well, first of all, I take on all comers. They're spending millions of dollars trying to attack me, so of course we're going to fight back. The surge is more of a media thing. You're not seeing it on the ground with conservative voters. In fact, conservative voters don't support her. I mean, that's just the reality. But people are responsible for their record. She runs saying she's so tough on China. She was the #1 governor in South Carolina when she was there of bringing China into her state. We posted the letter on our website where she was saying how great they were to the ambassador, and then the video of her in front of a Chinese flag at this Chinese company in South Carolina where she says that she works for them now as governor. And so that's just the reality. Now she's singing a different tune. But notice, she was really bragging about these liberal Wall Street donors who are now supported. These are people that supported Hillary Clinton. These are people that have opposed Donald Trump in the past. They will not allow strong
Governor,
policy on
she's going
China.
to be here later in the hour. I'm going to ask her about that. I'm going to send it to Steve Ainsley and Brian.
Yeah, Governor, thanks for joining us. I want to talk about the anti-Semitism. We see that on some of these university campuses. And last night you said that Joe Biden was not doing enough to hold Iran accountable, which is really the backbone for Hezbollah and for Hamas. What would you do differently?
Well, he has given them massive sanctions relief. I would get rid of all the sanctions relief. I would turn the screws on them financially so that they're not able to send money across the Middle East, and Biden refuses to do that. On the universities, I'd send the Justice Department in for civil rights investigations against these people. I mean, you have Penn, where if you say that there should be genocide of the Jews, they just shrug their shoulder. Yet they have fired people on their staff for simply opposing affirmative action. So you see what's happening. There's a sickness in our universities. There's a lot of rot in our universities. Incidentally, I'm the only Republican that's ever done anything about it. In Florida, we're going after this sickness. People are talking about how some of these very left-wing professors are leaving Florida because universities should not be about imposing an ideological agenda. We need to get back to it being about pursuing truth and preparing students to be citizens of this republic.
So, Governor, congratulations. Last night, Calvin Coolidge was trending. When the question was, what president do you look toward for inspiration? We heard Ronald Reagan, we heard Lincoln, we heard George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and you cited Calvin Coolidge, who left office a couple of months before the Great Depression started. It seems like a curious choice. Can you explain why Calvin Coolidge was so important to Ron DeSantis?
Well, they had already mentioned Lincoln, Reagan, and Washington, who are obviously three top ones I would draw inspiration from. But, Calvin Coolidge was probably the most constitutionally sound president we've had in the last 100 years. When he was president, the country did very well. He was right on almost every issue that he tackled. He had a very successful presidency, and he's kind of, he wasn't as flashy or whatever, but he got the job done and he understood that. And there's the famous story, because he was known as Silent Cow. There was a woman that went up to him. She said, "Mr. President, I have a bet that I could get you to say more than 2 words." He looked at her deadpanned and said, "You lose."
Governor, last night about Donald Trump, you and Christie clashed on whether he can do the job. I know you wouldn't be running if you didn't think you could be better. But do you think that he could do the job if he got the nomination and got back to the White House?
So Christie, he was trying to go in a much different direction. We have pointed out that Donald Trump has lost some zip on his fastball, that Father Time's undefeated, that he'd be the oldest president ever elected if he could get elected. That's different than trying to say somebody's not mentally competent to say stand trial or to be involved in life. And that's what Chris was trying to say. That's never what I've said. I just think ideally we want somebody that's in the prime that can serve 2 full terms, which I could do, and that is going to be working at 100%, full of energy, very energetic. So that's what we'll do. But the reality is, he's not been willing to campaign hard. He's not been willing to go to debates. I think he owes it to show up debates. He did a town hall I saw the other night, but didn't take any questions from the audience. It was just basically an interview. So, we go to all these places. We're taking questions from Iowans, from people in New Hampshire, South Carolina. I think that's what you got to do. I think you got to prove your mettle. I think you got to show people why you're the best choice.
Sure. Governor, is Iowa a must-win for you?
Well, we're going to win Iowa. I mean, what's happening on the ground there is incredible. It totally defies what the D.C. media is trying to do. But at the end of the day, what you have to do is win a majority of the delegates. And so there have been people that have won Iowa. That does not necessarily mean they won, and vice versa that's happened. So it's a long slog, and you got to be able to accumulate.